to broadcast high school athletics online from Portland's West Side. We are West Side Mobile Media, Banks, Oregon.
Banks Braves High School Athletics on West Side Mobile Media, presented by Jason Bond Remodeling. Also brought to you by these fine sponsors: Jim's Market, Sarah Hesselman Keller Williams Realty, Wana Credit Union, Banks Post Newspaper, Econo Fab Pole Buildings, GorgeNet Internet Service, Christy Van Meter at Caliber Home Loans, LaHaye's Custom Embroidery, Main Street Pizza, Oregon National Guard, Scoggins Creek Coffee, and Specialty Screen Printing. Now here's the play-by-play voice of Westside Mobile Media, Trevor Beard, alongside color analyst Jonathan Lee. Good evening and welcome to Banks Braves Volleyball on Westside Mobile Media. Banks Braves started the season 4-0 and since have lost their last three. Warrenton is undefeated in league play at 3-0. But Banks has the higher ranking despite being in fourth place right now behind Warrenton, Corbett, and Yamhill Carlton. Tied with Corbett technically at 2-1. We're going to take a short break, step away for a moment, and handle some public address duties and tonight's national anthem, and then we'll be back with you for the broadcast. This is Banks Braves Volleyball on Westside Mobile Media, built by Jason Bond Remodeling. And we're back, just about ready for the first serve of tonight's match between the visiting Warrenton Warriors and the host Banks Lady Braves. Okay. Again, we apologize. We may have glitchy Wi-Fi tonight. Hopefully it will not affect the broadcast. Taking a look at the starters tonight for the Braves. Across the front far side, Haley Evans to the far side, number 2. Number 5, Jordan Maller in the center. Madison Walker near side on the north side of the court, back row far corner. Alex Saunders Van Aken near back corner. For the Warrenton Warriors, purple uniforms, white numerals, white trim with black shorts. Except for the libero Olivia Lyons. Braves will be in their white uniforms, navy blue pointed lettering, navy blue numerals on the front. Starting with the serve for Warrenton, number 4, London O'Brien, 5'7" sophomore setter, right side hitter. First serve is picked up by Alex Saunders and misplays it over the head of Braves athletic director. Neon green and construction orange construction vests. Serve from O'Brien is picked up cleanly by Saunders this time. Van Aken down the far side with the return off the hand of a Warrenton defender, and we're tied at 1. First serve from the Braves comes from Haley Evans, tied at 1, returned by Warrenton. Katie Raines near side. Van Aken to Madison Walker, dumps it over. Warrenton is prepared for it. Jamie Annott. Warrenton with the return down the far side. Picked up by Alex Saunders out of the back corner. Haley Evans with the return, dug out by Warrenton. Returned across the net by the Warriors. Van Aken sets up Madison Walker for the kill, too much. And Warrenton with a 2-1 lead. Quick side out for the Braves after they had tied it. Jamie Annott to serve for the Warriors. Alex Saunders to Haley Evans, sets it across on a sneak return, and the return from Warrenton is just a couple of inches long, and we're tied at 2. Serving for the Braves, Ava Bogroff enters the match. Return is tipped at the net by Madison Walker on the return, and then Warrenton winds up playing patty cake with their effort. Braves with their first lead of the match at 3-2 in the first set. Serve from Banks is not going to get across on the return from Warrenton, having issues with the serve, and the Braves are now up 4-2. Bogroff again with the serve. Lyons, the libero, dumped over by Warrenton. Sets up Evans, the back set to Janicek. And picked up by Jamie Annott. Back to Annott on the return for Warrenton. Bogroff, Saunders. Janicek comes center of the court with the return. London O'Brien to Annott out of the far back corner for Warrenton. Evans sets up Van Aken far side, dug out by London O'Brien. Annott. And returned over the head up by Warrenton. And nice job to keep the volley alive and come up with the return for the Warriors. Great defense by Warrenton. Annott on the return. Evans back sits to Van Aken again off the net, and the Braves are going to get their 4th straight point, now leading 5-2. Getting a lucky break off the far side of the net to the south side of the gym. The home gym at Banks High School is the south side. The visitor's side where we're sitting is the north side. The gym runs east and west. Banks to our right on the west end of the court. Evans, Van Aken sets up Madison Walker, beautifully angled to the far corner from the middle of the net. 5 in a row for the Braves and a 6-2 lead. Again, Banks has lost 3 in a row, started the season 4-0, including a opening 5-set win over 4A top 10 Tillamook. The serve from Bogroff, set a sneak return by the Warriors, and that will end the lengthy side out for the Braves, now leading 6-3. Returned by Warrenton, but we're going to get a hitting error on number 11, Kaylee Earl. Side out back to the Braves quickly with a 7-3 lead. Serve from the Braves. Warrenton able to come up with a return down the near side. And I think it was Bogroff making contact. Otherwise, I think it would have been wide to the near side in front of the Braves bench, aiming for the near back corner. 7-4, Braves still with a 3-point lead. And the serve from Warrenton goes into the net, 8-4, back to the Braves. Serve from Van Aken, too much for number 10 for Warrenton, Melanie Zamoran. The Braves are in control early with a 9-4 lead in the first set. Again, the serve for Van Aken, far side of the key. Lions, and coming up short, Jamie Anott, and I think the Braves are starting to get in the head of the Warrenton Warriors, and they may need a timeout. 10-4 Braves in the first set. Again, Van Aken's serve comes to the opposite side of the key this time. Returned by Jamie Anott, back row Van Aken to Evans. Walker comes out of the back row to push it across. Warrenton on the return, but into the top of the net by Kaylee Earl. And the Braves with an 11-4 lead in the first set. On a 10-3 run, the serve from Van Aken. Center of the key. Lions dives to try to dig it out. Returned by Warrenton, Jamie Anott. Evans sets up Saunders for the return. Warrenton gets it across. Kaylee Earl. Evans to Walker out of the back row. Tipped, and Warrenton can't keep it alive as it goes underneath the net. And we do have a timeout. Warrenton could see their head coach Kimberly Nichols signaling for it, just needing to get the officials' attention. Banks in control in the first set. Midway through with a 12-4 lead. We'll take a 30-second break and be back after this from our presenting sponsor, Jason Bond Remodeling.
Want to give your kitchen or bath a fresh new look? Jason Bond Remodeling has over 20 years experience fabricating and installing stone countertops and can upgrade your home with the countertops of your dreams without the dreamy price tag. They pride themselves on quality and customer satisfaction. They also offer cabinet installation and will do their best to beat any bid by 10%. Based in Washington County and will service most Portland area locations. For quality kitchen and bath remodels, call Jason Bond Remodeling at 503-430-0145.
Banks with a 12-4 lead in the first set. Taylor Van Aken holding serve for the Braves. Dug out by Olivia Lyons, the libero, returned wide to the near side from the far side of the front row by number 11, Kaylee Earl. The Braves continue their run up 13-4. The serve from Van Aken. Lions dumped over by Warrenton. Haley Evans. Warrenton can't dig it off the net. The return from Haley Evans caught Warrenton off guard, and the Braves are up 10 at 14-4 over the league leaders, the Warrenton Warriors, coming into tonight's game 3-0 in league play. 14-4 in the first set. Taylor Van Aken holding serve for the Braves. Popped up by Kaylee Earl, far side. Returned by number 4, London O'Brien. And Warrenton finally able to get the side out. Trailing 14-5, coming in for the Warriors, number 16, Molina Herrera. She will serve from the center of the key. Now moves over to the right low block. Slap serve is picked up by Bogroff. Evans sets up Saunders into the back row. Returned by Warrenton off the dig from Lyons. Van Aken with the kill off the net far side, and Warrenton dives late and is unable to keep it off the floor. And Braves again another quick side out after Warrenton had regained the serve. Braves leading 15-5. Bogroff will come out. Katie Raines, the libero, comes in to serve. 15-5, Braves a 10-point lead in the first set. Still waiting on something on the scores table with the near side official. The serve from Katie Raines is well short into the top of the net. Side out back to the Warriors, trailing 15-6. Serve from Emma Smith, dug out by Raines. Evans back sets to Saunders, just a little bit long. And that's the first time in quite a while. I think early in the match, Warrenton had a little run of 2 or 3 points. But other than that, that's been their first run of 2 points in quite some time. The serve from Warrenton that time is long. And the Braves with the side out back leading 16-7. Serve from Alex Saunders. Herrera out of the center of the back row for the Warriors. Returned by Jamie Anott. Evans with kind of a spinning return on the first hit. Evans keeps the play alive. Gets it back from Maller far side off the top of the net. And Walker and Evans both dive. And that's kind of one of those. Banks has gotten a couple of breaks like that this season too, including tonight, but one of those that could have gone either way off the net. And this time the advantage goes to the Warriors with the point and the side out, trailing 16-8. London O'Brien, her serve, nice decision that time by Alex Saunders, far back corner to let that one go. Thought about it for a while, but it will be long. And the Braves get the side out back, leading 17-8. Serve from Haley Evans. Oh, the dig is too much for Herrera. Able to return it, but not too much on it, just trying to keep it off the floor. And the Braves back to a 10-point lead at 18-8. Haley Evans on the serve. Maller from out of bounds near side on the return for the Braves. And the return that time from Jamie Anott down the near side line, and side out back to Warrenton, trailing 18-9. Back in for the Warriors, number 11, Kaylee Earl. Serving will be Anott, the outside hitter defensive specialist. Raines comes up center of the court, sliding on her knees to come up with the dig. Braves come up with the return, far side. Battle at the net. And it's going to be won by the Braves as Kaylee Earl unable to dig it off the net, and Braves with the side out back to a 10-point lead at 19-9. Serve from Boggroff again. A knot returned by the Warriors. London O'Brien off the second hit, but the Braves are ready for it. Warriors able to somehow save it out of the Braves bleachers. Madison Walker for the kill. Far back corner past a diving effort from Olivia Lyons. The Warriors libero, and the Braves have their largest lead at 20-9. No timeout yet from Kimberly Nichols. Boggroff slap serve picked up by Anat. Return this time too much from Paige Tingstrom. Near side of the front row for Warrenton with the kill. And Warrenton back within 10 at 20-10 late in the first set. Serve from Warrenton picked up by the Braves. Madison Walker dumps it over, picked up by Kaylee Earl. London O'Brien returned by Tingstrom. Far back corner to Evans. Van Aken, Janicek pushes it across. Lyons, far side back corner. Jamie Anat on the return. Braves, nice effort by Boggroff to try to stay with it. And as it goes off of a rafter, as she tries to track it down over near the student section, but back-to-back points for Warrenton, trailing 20-11. Serve from Lyons, the libero for Warrenton, returned by Janicek. Lyons, London O'Brien sets up Kaylee Earl on the return for Warrenton. Van Aken to Walker, battled at the net. And playing patty cake, both teams across the net, coming up with the kill, Emma Smith. 3 in a row for Warrenton, now trailing 20-12. Warrenton making a little bit of a run here late in the first set. I believe Banks had I think Banks was down 10 in their 4-set loss to Valley Catholic at home last week. Returned by the Braves. Lions into the bottom of the net, far corner, and that's a big side out for the Braves as they regain some of the momentum that Warrenton had taken from them with that little 3 or 4 point run. Holding serve. Now Braves with a 21-12 lead. The serve from Madison Walker is an ace. Too much for Kaylee Earl. Far back corner. Back to a 10-point lead at 22-12. Substitution for Warrenton coming in. Riley Simonson replacing Earl. Walker far back corner. Maybe just about a step in from the line. O'Brien out of the back row into the net. Had it go off of her wrist a little bit funny. Jamie Anat, far back corner for Warrenton, can't get it across. And the Braves very close to putting putting the first set to bed here against Warrenton, up 23-12. Dug out by Boggroff. Evans back sets to Van Aken. Tipped, dug out by Lyons. O'Brien for Warrenton, returned by Anat. Boggroff probably should have let that one go, but it's picked up by Walker, returned by the Braves. Anat. Far side, the Warriors go to Riley Simonson. Evans. And nice effort. Van Aken dives into the bleachers. Got to be careful, almost collided with the bottom row bleachers with her forehead. Side out will go back to Warrenton. Got to love the defensive intensity, though, from the Braves that time. Still a 10-point lead. 23-13, and momentarily an official's timeout as the near side official handling substitutions is going to, I think, discuss the rotation with Warrenton and the far side official. 23-13, our next broadcast will be on Friday night. We'll head down to Pleasant Hill, just east of I-5 on Highway 58 as you're headed up to Bend from the Eugene area. Kind of right, you go Goshen, Pleasant Hill, and then Oak Ridge, and then you come to Willamette Pass on Bend, and that's where we'll be on Friday night is at Pleasant Hill High School, about 20 miles southeast of Eugene. So they now do allow the substitution. Coming in to serve, Emma Jasmine, replacing number 23, Aaliyah Watson. Warriors with the serve, trailing 23-13. The serve from Jasmine, Bogroff. And high into the air, Evans sets up Van Aken, sets it down the far side. I think we're going to get an illegal touch on Taylor Van Aken, and that's a good call. Looks like she may have got too much of a push on it, and it's 23-14. Jasmine's second serve, Janasek to Bogroff. Evans an over-the-shoulder return, dug out by Lyons, and they're going to get her for a hitting error. She doesn't agree with the call. And we may wind up replaying the point. One of the other Warrenton players still discussing it with the far side official. So it will be set point for the Braves in the first set, leading 24-14. The point will stand. Van Aken to serve, and it's just long. So Warrenton will survive for at least another point and get another crack at a run here with the serve, 24-15. Molina Herrera comes in to serve from a step right of the right low block. (24-15) Braves. Bogroff near back corner. Evans back to Bogroff and has it go off her hand. And it's going to be three straight for Warrenton, trailing 2 straight, trailing 24-16. Herrera, far side serve. Bogroff high into the air. Evans sets up Saunders near side, and Warrenton able to track it down. Returned by Lyons, the libero. Janasek near side, goes opposite side to Evans. Saunders on the kill for the first set. Victory, 25-16. We'll take a 2-minute break and be back with set number 2. Braves a 1-0 lead over the league-leading undefeated in league at least, Warrenton Warriors, 25-16 in set 1. We'll take a 2-minute break and be back after this from from Jim's Market.
Jim's Market in Banks is an institution serving the community for generations. They're actively involved in events and athletics from the youth league to high school level. Let them serve you with their locally grown fresh produce, fresh bakery items, including custom cakes, and quick hot food from their in-store deli. Jim's Market, conveniently located at the south entrance to Banks.
Thinking about buying or selling a home? Sarah Hesselman, Realtor with Keller Williams Realty, will help you with your real estate needs. Call 503-313-0748 or email Sarah at sarahhesselman.com. Serving your community daily and proud to support the starting lineup of your Banks Braves. Sarah Hesselman, Realtor with Keller Williams Realty. Call 503-313-0748.
Rankings are important numbers in determining Oregon high school playoffs. So are rankings when choosing a lender to help you with purchasing or refinancing your home. Our local community home loan expert, Christy Van Meter at Caliber Home Loans, is ready to help you win the day. Call Christy today for all of your home loan needs at 503-327-5302 or caliberhomeloans.com/kvanmeter.
Proudly serving our neighbors in Washington County since 1946, LaHaye is your destination for locally made Letterman's jackets. Custom embroidery for business apparel or a unique gift, and scouting uniforms and supplies. LaHaye's is on the corner of 3rd and Main in historic downtown Hillsboro. Open Wednesday through Friday, 10 to 6, Saturday, 10 to 4, and anytime online at lahayes.com or call us at 503-648-2341.
Banks Post newspaper is the official news provider of West Side's greatest hits. Listen hourly for West Side news from the Banks Post newsroom. Banks Post newspaper covers Banks, Manning, Buxton, Roy, and surrounding western Washington County communities. If you'd like more information on the Banks Post or want to pick up a copy, visit a local business today. You can also visit their website at bankspost.com or their Facebook page, Banks Post.
And we're back as we get ready for set two. Braves with a 1-0 lead. 25-16 winning the first set over Warrenton at home. Again, we'll be at Pleasant Hill High School for football on Friday. Final non-league tilt of the season for the Braves until playoffs. Banks currently ranked second in the state behind Dayton. Banks, Warrenton, and Yamhill Carlton all ranked in the top 10 out of 3A District 1 for football. Braves first serve from Haley Evans, returned by Warrenton. Van Aken down the far side, diving effort from number 10, Melanie Zamora is not in time, and the Braves have the first point of the second set. Serve from Haley Evans, far side of the key, and the dig from Lyons is going to go underneath the net. And back-to-back points for the Braves to start the second set. Serve from Evans, dug out by number 14, Riley Simonson, returned by Jamie Anott. Rains to Evans, back sets to Van Aken. Van Aken far side, blocked at the net, or the kill at the net by Warrenton. Madison Walker dives and can't keep it off the floor. Warrenton with the side out, trailing 2-1. O'Brien's serve. Evans near side to Van Aken, into the net. And back-to-back points for Warrenton, tied at 2. Serve from London O'Brien. Back row, Katie Rains out of the center. Evans with the sneak return on the second hit. Rains, and we're going to get I think too many hits on Warrenton. Braves back to a 1-point lead early in the second set at 3-2. Bogroff will come in for number 6, McKenna King. The serve from Bogroff. Lyons coming late. O'Brien back to Lyons on the return out of the back row. Van Aken to Evans, sets up Walker for the goal. Incredible dig by Lyons, who comes up with a return. Bogroff, Evans near side to Janicek, too much, and we're tied at 3. Olivia Lyons, an incredible dig for the libero to keep that play alive, and Warrenton eventually wins the point after what looked like a sure kill for Madison Walker. Tied at 3 in the second set. Jamie Anott's serve. Janicek to Evans. Back sets to Van Aken.
tipped at the net. Warriors able to play it, returned by Aaliyah Watson, and Bogroff can't handle it. It goes high into the back wall, and Warrenton has their first lead, I believe, since it was like 2-1 early in the first set. 4-3 Warrenton with the lead. The serve from Anat. Evans to Van Aken, and communication issues. I think she forgot how many hits and tried to make a pass on the third hit, and that's an error, and it's 5-3 Warrenton. Again, the serve from Anat, and it's another hitting error for Bogroff. 6-3 Warrenton on an ace off the serve from Anat. (6-3 Braves). 6-3 Warrenton. Evans keeps the point alive, and she's frustrated trying to keep the Braves in it in this second set, trailing 7-3. Banks defeated Warrenton last year at home when the Braves were still part of 4A in a non-league match. Janasek, Evans and Walker nearly collide. Van Aken on the return, dug out by London O'Brien. Lions to Anat on the return. Janasek to Evans. Sets up Madison Walker, dumps it over, dug out by Watson. Warrenton keeps it off the net. Back to Warrenton far side. Watson on the return. Evans to Janasek. Again, too long. And the Braves may need a timeout. Warrenton is in control early in the second set with an 8-3 lead. Serve from Warrenton, dug out by Saunders. Evans to Walker. This time they finally get the side out. London O'Brien can't handle it. It goes all the way near the back wall. Braves finally get a side out, trailing 8-4. Serve from Madison Walker is long, and it's 9-4. Right after the Braves had gotten a side out, unable to do anything with it, and Warrenton back to a 5-point lead. Serve from Olivia Lyons. Janasek near side. Evans, center of the court. To Saunders down the near side, just inside the line. Warrenton defense had shifted to the center of the court, and a side out back to the Braves, trailing 9-5 in the second set. Van Aken serve. Returned by Watson. And we're going to get a lift, I think, on Warrenton. Back-to-back points for the Braves, trailing 9-6. Braves up one set to none, 25-16. Van Aken's serve is unable to be returned by Riley Simonson into the net near side. And make it 3 straight for the Braves, 9-7. Van Aken serve, steps to the line. Anat. Janasek dives to keep the point alive for the Braves. Saunders, incredible job by Warrenton on the return defensively. Rains to Evans on a sneak return. And again, Warrenton this time unable to play it off the net. Almost thought they were going to sneak it off the floor and come up with another return. Kept it alive until the third hit, and 4 straight for the Braves, within 1 at 9-8 in the second set. Serve from Taylor. Van Aken, far side, dug out by O'Brien. Returned by Watson. Van Aken to Evans. Sets up Saunders, blocked at the net. Rain's able to get her mitts on it, but too much, and Warrenton will get the side out, back to a 2-point lead. But a nice little run by the Braves to gain a lot of that momentum back that Warrenton had with that 5-point lead. It's now 10-8 as we near the midway point of the second set. Braves a 1-0 lead. Emma Jasmine to serve for the Warriors. And Madison Walker let it go. And it's an ace just inside the line, 11-8 Warrenton. Again, the serve from Jasmine. Van Aken to Evans. Saunders off the top of the net. 12-8 Warrenton after the Braves had worked so hard to cut a 9-4 lead down to just one for Warrenton, and now it's back to 4 again after unforced errors. The serve from Jasmine. Walker high into the air to Evans, sets up Saunders, dumps it over, but right to Aaliyah Watson for the Warriors. Returned by O'Brien. Evans to Van Aken. Walker out of the back row to Lyons. Off the tip, Rains. Janicek keeps it alive for the Braves. Back to Madison Walker on the return. Off the top of the net, Rains dives. Keeps it alive to Van Aken. Madison Walker comes up short into the net, and Warrenton is back to a 5-point lead. Warrenton a 13-8 lead in the second set. Jasmine to serve. Walker. Evans to Janicek far side. Picked up by Warrenton. Far side to Watson on the return. Over the top. And Van Aken dives, but has her attempt go right into the backside of Haley Evans. And we do have a Braves timeout. Banks had cut it to 1 at 9-8. Warrenton has rattled off 5 straight to go up 14-8 and still holding serve. We'll take a 30-second break and be back after this from Wanna Credit Union.
Do you or someone you know own a business? As a local business ourselves, we know how important daily operations are, which is why we offer small dollar business loans for equipment, building upgrades, machinery, and more. The credit union even provides employee benefits for business members. Learn more at wannafcu.org or ask to speak with a commercial team member today. Again, to learn more, visit wannafcu.org.
And we're back following the Braves timeout, trailing 14-8. They pulled within 1 a moment ago at 9-8, but Warrenton has rattled off 5 straight points off of serve. Dug out by Katie Rains. Evans down the near side with the back set. Braves come up with the return. Watson angled to Janicek. Evans chases it down in front of the student section. Van Aken with the return for Banks. Jasmine. And another point off of an error from the Braves. 15-8. Warriors in control of the second set. Serve from Emma Jasmine. Janicek to Evans. Back to Janicek. Over the net to Anat. Warrenton on the return. Madison Walker to Evans. Sets up Saunders. And popped up by Lyons. Maybe should have let that one go. Returned by Anat off the net. Janicek to Evans. Back to Van Aken calling for it. Dug out by Lyons. Returned by Jamie Anat. Walker digs it out to Evans. That surprise return. Watson is ready, or Warrenton is ready for it. Watson this time. And they're going to get a touch from Banks. 16-8. The serve from Jasmine is way long this time, and Banks will finally get a side out after a run of 7 straight for Warrenton. Katie Rains, the libero, to serve for the Braves. McKenna King will come in to replace Ava Bogroff. Serve from Katie Rains. Lyons Battle at the net, won by the Braves, and back-to-back points pulls Banks within 16-10. Banks allowed just 16 in the first set, and misplayed by Jamie Anott off the serve of Katie Rains. 16-11, Braves with 3 straight off of serve from Katie Rains. Far side, this time Anott is ready for it. Returned by Watson near side. Rains to Evans, sets up Saunders. Dumps it over, Warrenton ready for it. Punched over by Warrenton, and diving for it is Van Aken. It goes near the far side net pole. Evans tries to keep it alive, but is going to be unable to do so safely, and Warrenton back with the side out up 17-11. Serve from Aaliyah Watson. Walker, Evans dumps it over. Warrenton on the return. Rains to Evans. Sets up Saunders. Battle at the net. Return. Oh, they're going to get, I think, Apparently a hitting error on Warrenton. A side out back for the Braves. Still trailing by 5 at 17-12. Couple of substitutions for Warrenton. Saunders to serve from deep beyond the line near the basketball end line. Navy blue with Banks and transparent lettering along the baseline. Returned by Jamie Anott on the kill, and the block just goes straight down. And side out back to Warrenton, leading 18-12. Serve from Emma Smith. Rains to Saunders. Van Aken out of the back row. Smith. And into the bottom of the net. Paige Tingstrom, I think they were wanting to lead her for a kill, and she couldn't time it and waited until the ball was already at the bottom of the net. And too late to play it by that point, and it's 18-13 Braves. Back again trailing by 5, and the serve too long from Haley Evans. Quick side out for the Braves, back to Warrenton, leading 19-13. London O'Brien will serve for Warrenton. And this one is long, side out back to the Braves. Again, trailing by 5 at 19-14. They've got to find a way to hold serve and put a little run together here with things getting late in the second set. Ava Bogroff comes in replacing McKenna King. Warrenton with a 5-point lead in the second set. Lions returned by Riley Simonson, and we're going to get a hitting error on Warrenton. Back-to-back points for the Braves. Pulls Banks within 4 at 19-15. Bogroff again to serve. Short. Lyons comes up to get it. O'Brien off. Warrenton comes up with a return from London O'Brien. Dug out by Simonson off the return from Banks. Evans to Walker. Back to Janicek into the back row and down the near line. Beautiful return from Janicek right on the line near back corner. 19-16. Braves within 3. Braves were down 16-9 and have since been on a 7-3 run. The serve from Bogroff is misplayed by Warrenton, and Braves are within 2 at 19-17. Timeout Warrenton. Banks with a 1-0 lead. Warrenton had control much of the second set, but starting to fall apart. Banks on a little run to pull within 2, 19-17. Timeout Warrenton. Will take a 30-second break and be back in just a moment after this from for Main Street Pizza.
Visit Main Street Pizza in Banks, located next to Jim's Market, for the best pizza in Washington County. From loaded hot baked subs to a Main Street special pizza piled high, we will satisfy your pizza cravings. We've been serving and supporting the Banks community since 1986. Open daily at 11 a.m. Call ahead now to place your order at 503-324-5858 or follow us on Facebook to see our daily lunch specials. Mention this radio ad and receive $2 off any Main Street Pizza.
And we're back, 19-17, Warrenton with a 2-point lead, but it was much larger than that a moment ago. Had a 16-9 lead. Braves on a 8-3 run for Ava Bogroff holding serve. Warrenton able to chase it down, punched over by Riley Simonson. Van Aken sets up Madison Walker. London O'Brien, returned by Warrenton. Saunders to Evans, sets up Madison Walker, dumps it over. And Warrenton late, returned by Jamie Anott. Bogroff, Saunders, and Janicek and Walker nearly collide. Again, no communication, but they come up with the return. Walker, Evans comes up to punch it over. Warrenton to Lyons, Anott on the return. Janicek, Evans, far side Van Aken. Sets it across down the far side over the top of the Warrenton defense. Braves are within one at 19-18. Coming in for Warrenton, number 1, Siriana Earls. Serve from Bogroff, far side is an ace! Tied at 19 in the second set. Right down the far side line, Warrenton let it go. Again, the serve from Bogroff, Earls, O'Brien. Return into the back row, dug out by Saunders. Nice job by the Braves defense. Van Aken gets it back from Walker. Warrenton able to come up with the return. Walker keeps it off the net to Evans. Janicek, and she slips late, nearly collides with Madison Walker. Warrenton back to a 1-point lead. Jamie Anott to serve for Warrenton. Braves with an incredible run, though, to go from a 16-9 deficit to come all the way back to tied at 19. The serve from Anott. Janicek. High in the air to Evans. Walker on the kill. Too much for Jamie Anott. Tied again at 20, and the Braves with the side out. Madison Walker to serve, far corner. Lyons for Warrenton, and communication issues for Warrenton that time. Number 3, Anott, and number 4, London O'Brien, and the Braves have come all the way back to take a slim lead at 21-20 in the second set. How incredible would this be if they could come all the way back and win the second set? Lyons pops it up off the serve from the Braves. Tipped at the net, and it's going to go out of bounds off the block attempt from Saunders. Tied at 21, side out back to the Warriors. This second set could go extra points. Lyons, the libero, to serve for Warrenton. Walker to Evans, center of the front row. Saunders on the return. Lyons over by Emma Smith, diving to the floor, Bogroff. Evans sets it across, but Warrenton is ready for it. And Bogroff misplays it. It's going to go into the back wall. Warrenton back with a 1-point lead at 22-21. Riley Simonson comes out for Warrenton.
Lions to serve. Bogroff to Evans. Back sets to Van Aken. Lions into her own bench. Warrenton isn't going to be able to play it. And again, we're tied at 22 in the second set. Again, the side out back to the Braves. Van Aken to serve. Far side dumped over by Watson. Van Aken to Evans. Saunders dumps it over, and nobody home. Far side of the front row for Warrenton. Braves back to a 1-point lead late in the second set at 23-22. Timeout Warrenton. Banks trailed 16-9 in the second set and have now come all the way back to take a 1-point lead on a couple of occasions here late in the second set. It's Banks 23, Warrenton 22. Timeout Warriors. We'll be back after this 30-second break from Scoggins Creek Coffee.
Scoggins Creek Coffee is proud to offer delicious hot drinks and delectable breakfast items too. Visit their 2 locations in Gaston and Yamhill Carlton. Open 7 days a week, Mondays through Saturdays until 5 and Sundays until 3. Make sure to ask about their weekly specials and visit their Facebook page. Scoggins Creek Coffee, 503-985-3483.
And we're back 23-22. Braves with a 1-point lead late in the second set after trailing midway through 16-9. Braves on a 14-6 run. Won the first set 25-16. Van Aken holding serve for the Braves. Nearly a couple of Warrenton players colliding. Saunders, and her attempt goes into the net and unable to get out of the way in time for a Braves effort to get it back across, and we're tied at 23. Banks, the 2015 4A state champs, our first year broadcasting Banks Athletics. Evans, far side to Janasek, who comes center of the court, and too much on that return. Set point for Warrenton, up 24-23. I think we have a timeout, Banks. Yeah, Diana Herb waiting to get the officials, near side officials' attention. 24-23, Warrenton in the second set. We'll take a 30-second break and be back after this from Specialty Screen Printing.
Specialty Screen Printing in Yamhill offers your business the creativity and expertise to print your logo on a variety of items. Owners Ken and Linda Johnson have 40 years of experience on industrial parts and every type of material, including ceramic tile. Their fast service can have your project done in less than a week. Visit their website, specialtyscreenprinting.com, to see for yourself how they can help you boost your company's marketing and industrial screen printing needs. Call 971-998-9274 or visit their website, specialtyscreenprinting.com.
And we're late coming back from the break. They ended the timeout early as both teams were ready. Warrenton serve. Braves hit it into their own bench, and Warrenton will win set 2, 25-23, to tie the match at 1 set apiece. We'll take a 2-minute break and be back after this from GorgeNet Internet Service Provider.
There's a new premier fiber internet provider in Vernonia featuring friendly and helpful customer service. Sign up with Gorge Networks today for symmetrical speed fiber internet, 300 meg or 1 gig speeds with managed Wi-Fi included in the low monthly price. No contracts or price increases. Refer a friend and get a free month of service. Make the switch to Gorge Networks today. Call 541-436-0223. You can also email us at sales@gorge.net.
Hey Brave fans, this is Chris Lyda, the voice of the Braves, here to tell you about Econofab Buildings. Econofab is a third-generation family-owned and operated pole building company located right here in Brave Country. Econofab has been in business for almost 50 years, constructing shops, garages, and barns. I had them build my 2 shops, and as a satisfied and repeat customer, I'm here to tell you that Econofab puts the fab in fabulous. Go visit them online at econofabbuildings.com.
The Army National Guard plays a vital role in your community. We're on the front lines supporting essential personnel, first responders, law enforcement, and medical professionals, delivering food, supplies, and medicine, keeping communities safe, making a difference. During emergencies, we're always ready, always there. Learn more about part-time service in the Army National Guard at nationalguard.com.
Sponsored by the Oregon Army National Guard, aired by the Oregon Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Want to give your kitchen or bath a fresh new look? Jason Bond Remodeling has over 20 years experience fabricating and installing stone countertops and can upgrade your home with the countertops of your dreams without the dreamy price tag. They pride themselves on quality and customer satisfaction. They also offer cabinet installation and will do their best to beat any bid by 10%. Based in Washington County and will service most Portland area locations. For quality kitchen and bath remodels, call Jason Bond Remodeling at 503-430-0145.
And we're back as we clear things out to get ready for set 3, tied at 1 set apiece. Banks winning the first set 25-16. Warrenton, despite a 16-9 lead in the second set, Banks came all the way back, had the lead on a couple of occasions late, but couldn't hold on. Warrenton with a 25-23 set 2 victory to tie the match at 1 set apiece. Warrenton's turn to serve to start the third set. It will be number 4, London O'Brien. O'Brien and Tingstrom, both a couple of longtime names in the Warrenton Astoria area. Madison Walker on the return, popped up by Lyons. O'Brien chases it down, back to Lyons on the return. Raines digs it out the floor. Evans to Van Aken, to Maller, just wide down the near side line. First point goes to Warrenton to start the third set. Second serve for O'Brien. Van Aken near side to Evans. Walker down the line, dumps it over. Lyons gets it across far side to Jamie Anott on the return. Saunders out of the far back corner. Evans sets up Walker, dumps it over. Dug out by Anott. Back set from London O'Brien, off the block, and goes through the hands of Walker and Maller. And Warrenton now with a 2-0 lead in the second set, or in the third set. O'Brien from just in front of the basketball inline. Returned by Maller, popped up by Warrenton, able to pull it off the net and come up with the return. Maller dives to the floor, and late communication, Van Aken and Walker. Walker let Van Aken go for it, and her attempt was late, and it goes under the net, 3-0 Warrenton. Again, O'Brien, Raines to Evans. Saunders out of the back row. Lyons is there for Warrenton. Far side to Anott. Off the Braves block, far side. 4 straight for Warrenton to start the third set.
Serve from London O'Brien is short. Maller, Evans down the far side on a surprise return. Into the back row, Saunders and Rains, and unable to position themselves properly in the near back corner to get the ball back close to the net, and it's 5-0 Warrenton in the third set. O'Brien, Rains to Van Aken. Saunders late, but does come up with the return for the Braves. And finally, they get a side out after that attempt is too close to the, actually right on the net stick, and Warrenton able to dig it out from the near side, and the Braves get the side out, but trailing 5-1 as they get the first serve of the third, as Haley Evans gets the first serve of the third set for the Braves. Oh, and whistles. I think they're going to have a reserve. Haley Evans again, Lions. Dumped over by Warrenton, but Van Aken is there, gets it back from Evans. Popped up by Lions. Near side, tipped at the net, Van Aken. Evans chases it down and unable to play it off the rafters. Just incredible defense by Warrenton, and back to a 5-point lead at 6-1. Anat will serve from the left low block. Saunders, Evans, back sets to Walker, dumps it over. Warrenton is ready for it, and it's going to go into the net, and the Braves get the side out, trailing 6-2. Coming in, Ava Bogroff replacing Jordan Maller. Serve from Bogroff is long, just by about an inch or two, and the side out back to Warrenton, leading 7-2. Serve from Lions. Saunders to Evans, sets up Janasek. Warrenton defense is ready for it. Watson on the return. Saunders back row. Evans back sets to Van Aken. Lions too much. Side out back to the Braves. Trailing 7-3, but need to put a run together here. Can't keep getting in these big holes early or midway through like they did last set, and then have to use so much energy to come back. Watson on the return, punches it out of bounds far side. Back-to-back points for the Braves on serve, 7-4. Again, the serve from Bogroff is short, but Warrenton able to come up with it, and able to pull it off the net was London O'Brien, but Warrenton cannot come up with the return. 3 straight for the Braves, trailing 7-5. It's actually not Bogroff serving, it's Madison Walker. Anat, Lions on the return, and it's too long. Braves again have come all the way back to within 1 at 7-6 on a 4-point run after trailing 7-2 before the side out. So from Walker, Anat, and late communication between Lions and Anat. Lions goes late, but it's too late, and it goes parallel to the floor, out of bounds to the far side, into the bleachers, and we're tied at 7. Walker's serve is an ace, too much for Jamie Anat, and it's an 8-7 Braves lead early in the third set. A pivotal third set for the Braves, trailing, or now leading for the first time in the set at 8-7. Walker
A knot, back to a knot on the return. Evans. Van Aken far side for the Braves. Saunders off the net. Warrenton is prepared for it though and gets the point after the return from Jamie Anott to tie it at 8. Jasmine on the serve. Madison Walker, good decision late to let it go. Side out back to the Braves after the service error from Jasmine goes long. 9-8 Braves lead. The serve from Van Aken. Watson. Jasmine, far side, battle at the net. Nice job both teams right at the net. Return by Watson. Bogroff. Evans sets it into the back row. Warrenton ready for it. Battle at the net. Won by the Braves. And we have an official's timeout. One official gave the point to the Braves. On the far side, the near side official, I think, thought that somebody on the Braves front line had came over the net. And that's kind of what I think is going to be the official call, and the serve will probably go back to Warrenton, tied at 9. So they are going to rule. It will be the Braves' point with a 10-8 lead in the third set, an 8-1 run. The serve from Van Aken. And again, a hitting error, a lift on Warrenton. Braves an 11-8 lead. Extend the run to 9-1. The serve from Van Aken. A knot. Kept back in play by Watson. Warrenton on the return. Bogroff gets it across for the Braves. Jasmine sets up Emma Smith. Braves are ready for it. Off the net, Warrenton able to play it. Walker out of the back row to Evans. Sets up Saunders. Over the top, but right to Jamie Anott. Jasmine gets it across for Warrenton. Evans near side to Janicek. Back row to Lyons. Warrenton defense again ready. Far side, London O'Brien. Van Aken to Evans. Far side, Janicek. Watson pops it up. Off the net. Saunders able to play it for the Braves. Evans into the back row again. Trying to wear out this Warrenton defense. Jamie Anott. Van Aken far side. Evans sets up Saunders with the return over the top with the sneaky dump return. Angled it beautifully to the far side from the center of the front row. Banks continuing their run now with a 12-8 lead. Van Aken nearly thought that it was going to go out of bounds into the bleachers, but Warrenton somehow able to come up with the return after playing it off the net. Far side, London O'Brien back across the net for Warrenton. Evans to Saunders. Too much for Lyons. Off the kill from Haley or from Alex Saunders. 13-8 Braves. Timeout Warrenton. Warrenton had a 7-2 lead. Banks is on an 11-1 run. And we'll take a 30-second break and be back after this Warrenton timeout. It's Banks 13, Warrenton 8 in the third set, looking to go up 2-1. Want to give your kitchen or bath?
Jim's Market in Banks is an institution serving the community for generations. They're actively involved in events and athletics from the youth league to high school level. Let them serve you with their locally grown fresh produce, fresh bakery items, including custom cakes, and quick hot food from their in-store deli. Jim's Market, conveniently located at the south entrance to Banks.
13-8 Braves lead after the Warrenton timeout. Warrenton had a 7-2 lead early in the third set. Warrenton 7-4, including
splitting with Yamhill Carlton. Thought they were undefeated in league, but Yamhill Carlton, I think, is the team that's undefeated in league. Serve from Van Aken. Returned by London O'Brien off the net. Van Aken to Evans, sets up Saunders, dumps it over. Warrenton ready. Lions combined with a teammate on the return for Warrenton. Evans into the back row, and it's just inside the line. Warrenton gets the side out back, trailing 13-9. Aaliyah Watson will serve for the Warriors, just inside the left low block. Now steps up to the line, and that one is going to be just long. Side out back to the Braves, 14-9, back to a 5-point lead. Serve from Katie Rains. Watson on the return. Rains comes all the way up from her server position, and Alex Saunders somehow comes up with the return. Walker slips as she dives for the dig. Maller on the return. Jasmine far side to Anat. Walker to Rains. Saunders on the return. Lions and Warrenton unable to keep it alive. Nice effort defensively down the near sideline. A couple of players diving, and we have a Warrenton player injured. She collided with the floor. She's holding her forehead, crying, writhing in pain. She is conscious, but she hit her head hard trying to keep a point alive for Warrenton. 15-9 Braves, a 6-point lead. We'll take a 30-second break for an injury timeout, and if she is now sitting up, and I think going over concussion protocol with Braves Athletic Director Ben Buchanan. Number 4, London O'Brien, slow to get up after colliding forehead to floor, trying to keep a point alive. Warrenton won the 3A title a couple of years ago. We'll go ahead and take a 30-second break, and if we come back, if we resume play, we'll come back early.
Thinking about buying or selling a home? Sarah Hesselman, Realtor with Keller Williams Realty, will help you with your real estate needs. Call 503-313-0748 or email Sarah at sarahhesselman.com. Serving your community daily and proud to support the starting lineup of your bank's Braves. Sarah Hesselman, Realtor with Keller Williams Realty. Call 503-313-0748.
15-9 following the injury timeout to London O'Brien for Warrenton. She's up and okay, moving around and getting the thumbs up from the far side official. Katie Rains serving for the Braves, and this one is going to go way long near the left low block, and 15-10 side out back to the Warriors. And the serve this time from Emma Smith is short into the net. She will come out immediately after her service error. 16-10, Braves with a 6-point lead in the third set. Serve from Saunders. Anat to Watson, tipped at the net by the Braves. Saunders out of the back row. Evans comes near side to Maller. Popped up by Watson. Dumped over by Warrenton, and we're going to get a lift on the Warriors after they thought they had won the point.
on the kill, and it's 17-10. Braves by a touchdown in the third set, 17-10. The serve from Alex Saunders, far side. Anat. Jasmine sets it up, blocked. Battle won by the Warriors, but Braves recover. Walker on the return for Banks. Watson angles it beautifully. Maller wasn't ready for it, slips and falls as her attempt goes into the bottom of the net. Braves can't get there in time to dig it out, and Warrenton with the side out back trailing 17-11 coming in. Riley Simonson. Riley Simonson coming in for the Warriors. And O'Brien, her serve. Raines and Saunders come together, but Evans, Saunders out of the back row, into the top of the net. Back-to-back points for Warrenton within 5 at 17-12. Can't let Warrenton get any momentum here as we get into the late stages of the third set, a pivotal set with things tied at 1 set apiece. Saunders to Evans, and led Maller too far into the net. 3 straight for Warrenton, 17-13. If Warrenton continues this run, I would expect a Diana Erb timeout. And then O'Brien's serve, Maller to Raines, near side to Madison Walker. Oh, but Warrenton able to chase it down and somehow come up with a return. Evans back sets to Walker, too much that time. Pass to diving Olivia Lyons, and the Braves get the side out back, leading 18-13. Haley Evans serving for the Braves. From the left low block, it's going to go on the other side, right into the net stand far side. And the Braves now with a 6-point lead at 19-13. Evans. Watson, and it's actually it's Herrera, misplayed by, I think, number 3, Jamie Anat, and the Braves up 7, 20-13, a touchdown lead in the later stages of the third set. Evans to serve. Way into the air by Watson. And Van Aken tried to dump it over and spun and stayed on the Braves side of the net. Side out back to Warrenton, but still trailing by 6, 20-14. Saunders comes up, sliding on her knees, and comes up with the return on the dig. Saunders out of the back row off the return from Warrenton. Evans to Van Aken. Lyons pops it up. Gets it across. Evans to Walker. Tipped at the net. And Warrenton unable to keep the point alive. Side out back to the Braves with a 1-point lead at 21-14. Braves lead. Coming in to serve for the Braves, number 8, Marissa Herbert for the first time tonight. Evans keeps it alive and returned by Van Aken near the student section for the Braves. Dumped over by Warrenton, and Madison Walker digs it off the net. Braves with an incredible return. Evans sets up Walker off the net. Lyons with the return off the bottom of the net, under the net off the attempt from Paige Tingstrom. 22-14, Braves lead in the third. Serve from Herbert this time is long. 22-15, side out back to Warrenton. Serve from Lyons is short, and Herbert and Saunders
come together. 22-16, back-to-back points for Warrenton. Lions holding serve for the Warriors. Short again. Same result again. Saunders and Janicek come together. Neither one ready for it. And I think we're going to have timeout Banks to try to figure out how to handle these Olivia Lions low, soft serves. 22-17. Banks still with a 5-point lead, but Warrenton holding serve on a little bit of a run to try to get back in it late in the third. We'll take a 30-second break and be back after this from Christy Van Meter at Caliber Home Loans.
Rankings are important numbers in determining Oregon high school playoffs. So are rankings when choosing a lender to help you with purchasing or refinancing your home. Our local community home loan expert, Christy Van Meter at Caliber Home Loans, is ready to help you win the day. Call Christy today for all of your home loan needs at 503-327-5302 or caliberhomeloans.com/kvanmeter. Christy Van Meter, NMLS number 1700271, state licensed in Oregon, an equal housing lender. All products are subject to credit and property approval.
And we're back 22-17. Braves with a 5-point lead, but Warrenton on a mini 3-0 run. Olivia Lyons to serve for the Warriors from the left low block. Janicek to Evans. Van Aken. It's tipped at the net, knocked into the back row. Lions can't chase it down. And that'll end that run for Warrenton. Side out back to the Braves. 2 points away from a 3-set victory, leading 23-17. Walker's serve is way too much that time at 23-18. Side out quickly back to Warrenton. Still lead. Janicek, nice job by Saunders to keep that one in play. Returned by Evans. Warrenton, far side to Aaliyah Watson. Herbert to Evans. Comes up with the return, but wide down the near side. 23-19, back-to-back points again for Warrenton. Serve from Jasmine this time. Janicek. Evans, far side to Van Aken. Blocked at the net, and Warrenton unable to keep it in play after playing it off the net. Goes all the way into the back row. Lions can't do anything with it. Far back corner, set point for the Braves in the third set. (24-19), Braves a 5-point lead. The serve from Van Aken is returned by Warrenton. Evans, Saunders on the return. To the near side, 25-19. Banks wins set 3 to go up 2-1. We'll take another 2-minute break and be back for set number 4 after this.
Proudly serving our neighbors in Washington County since 1946, LaHaye's is your destination for locally made Letterman's jackets, custom embroidery for business apparel or a unique gift, and scouting uniforms and supplies. LaHaye's is on the corner of 3rd and Main in historic downtown Hillsborough. Open Wednesday through Friday, 10 to 6, Saturday, 10 to 4, and anytime online at lahayes.com or call us at 503-648-2341.
Banks Post newspaper is the official news provider of West Side's greatest hits. Listen hourly for West Side news from the Banks Post newsroom. Banks Post newspaper covers Banks, Manning, Buxton, Roy, and surrounding western Washington County communities. If you'd like more information on the Banks Post or want to pick up a copy, visit a local business today. You can also visit their website at bankspost.com or their Facebook page, Banks Post.
Do you or someone you know own a business?
As a local business ourselves, we know how important daily operations are, which is why we offer small dollar business loans for equipment, building upgrades, machinery, and more. The credit union even provides employee benefits for business members. Learn more at wannafcu.org or ask to speak with a commercial team member today. Again, to learn more, visit wannafcu.org.
Visit Main Street Pizza in Banks, located next to Jim's Market, for the best pizza in Washington County. From loaded hot baked subs to a Main Street special pizza piled high, we will satisfy your pizza cravings. We've been serving and supporting the Banks community since 1986. Open daily at 11 a.m. Call ahead now to place your order at 503-324-5858 or follow us on Facebook to see our daily lunch specials. Mention this radio ad and receive $2 off any Main Street pizza.
And we're back as we get set up for the fourth set. Banks with a 2-1 lead, winning the first 25-16, losing the second 25-23, and winning the third 25-19. Volleyball will be at Corbett on Thursday night. That will not be a broadcast for us. Our next broadcast will be Friday at Pleasant Hill. We have a volleyball broadcast Tuesday night next week. Probably will not be doing football next Friday at Corbett. That game will likely be over by halftime. Corbett has lost their first 3 games by a combined score of 159-8. Banks number 2 and Pleasant Hill number 7 in the latest OSAA 3A football rankings. Banks, Warrenton, and Yamhill Carlton all ranked in the top 10 out of 3A District 1. And the serve from Haley Evans to start set 4. Combined Haley and Taylor to make one player. Warrenton comes up with the return, a knot. Van Aken to Evans. And Walker slips as she tries to push that one across, and Warrenton will come up with the point as her attempt goes short into the net. 1-0 Warrenton, the early fourth set lead. Evans sets up Van Aken off the net, and Van Aken steals it from Katie Raines. She had dove to the floor to keep the point alive, and Warrenton with back-to-back points to start the fourth set. Emma Jasmine to make it a trio. Raines probably should have let that one go, but it is returned by Van Aken. Lions chased down by Warrenton, returned by Jasmine. Van Aken to Evans, sets up Walker for the kill, but not a kill. Warrenton able to play it and then punched over, but out of bounds far side near the student section. 2-1 at Warrenton. Now with just a 1-point lead, Braves with the side out, hoping to come up with a 4-set victory if they can win the fourth set. Herbert stays in, and the attempt from Warrenton comes up short. Emma Jasmine, I think, tried a little overhand action and whiffed on the ball, and it comes up short into the net, tied at 2 in the fourth. And the serve from Herbert. This time is returned by Riley Simonson. Walker. Lyons. Walker dumped it over. Lyons lobbed it right to her, and I think Warrenton was expecting a kill, and she just dumped it over the top after the Warrenton defense had backed off. 3-2 Braves lead. This time the serve to Lions, and it's the Braves who are unprepared for the return, tied at 3. Coming in Ava Bogroff to replace Herbert. Jamie Anott, left low block to serve for the Warriors. Low serve is too low into the top of the net. Service error gives the side out back to the Braves in a 4-3 lead. Serve from Madison Walker. Oh, Lions somehow able to come up with a return. Janicek to Van Aken, returned by Bogroff. Watson, Jasmine back sets, returned by Simonson. Walker takes it away from Evans, but keeps the play alive. Van Aken, Lions pops it up for Warrenton. Over to Anott, down the far side. Van Aken let it go, and it's down the line for a point for Warrenton, tied at 4. Olivia Lyons had a little bit of a run to pull Warrenton within 3 late last set before Braves were able to finally put it away 25-19. Her serve this time is returned by the Braves, and then Lyons hits it under the net out of the back row. 5-4, side out back to the Braves. Serve from Van Aken. Jasmine sets up Watson far side over the top. Van Aken walks it. Watson knocks it back into the back row. Warrenton able to come up with the return. Evans sets up Saunders, dumps it over. Diving to the floor. Warrenton somehow keeps it alive from out of bounds far side. Saunders tries to knock it over. Bogroff comes up with a nice play defensively. Lions to Anott. Pushes it across. Bogroff. Evans sets up Janicek near side. Tipped at the net, and Jasmine can't recover for Warrenton. 6-4 Braves with a 2-point lead early in the 4th set. Taylor Van Aken holding serve. Center of the key. Watson. Jasmine off the net, and score should be 7-4. It shows 7-5. Still haven't corrected it. Serve from the Braves is returned by Warrenton, and Haley Evans well, 7-6 is the official score. Serving for Warrenton, number 4, London O'Brien, who went down for a moment with a head injury after making contact forehead to floor. And Walker and Van Aken, communication issues, tied at 7. Serve from O'Brien. Walker this time ready for it. Evans to Saunders. Dug out by Lyons for Warrenton. O'Brien to Watson. Janicek. Van Aken pops it up. And they're going to get a hitting error on the Braves. I think they're going to call Janicek for a lift. Warrenton. Diana Herbach's asking for an explanation. 8-7, Warrenton now with the lead in an all-important set 4. Bogroff, Evans, and Evans able to dump it over. Warrenton unable to recover as the return caught them off guard. Tied at 8. Katie Rains to serve for the Braves. Left low block. 2 Lions. O'Brien tried to pass across. Rains chases it down near the scorer's table, and the Braves come up with the return for the point. Pass to diving effort from Kaylee Earl. Braves regain the lead and keep the serve, leading 9-8. Serve from Katie Rains to Watson. O'Brien sets up Earl. Pass to diving effort from Madison Walker. Emma Smith, not Earl on the kill, tied at 9. Serve from Watson, low. Walker high into the air. Rains able to track it down, but mispositioned and too far off the ball. And well short. Now Warrenton with a 10-9 lead. Serve from Warrenton. Evans dumps it over, and I think we're going to get a lift on Haley Evans. Warrenton with a 2-point lead, 11-9. Serve from Watson, low. Van Aken. And nice job by King and the Braves front line to keep it alive and get the return. Saunders gets it from Evans to dump it over, and far side, Anat tipped at the net. Van Aken to Evans, sets up Saunders. And Warrenton misplaying it on a couple of hits, and Braves back within 1, trailing 11-10 in the 4th set, up 2 sets to 1. Serve from Alex Saunders is wide, just a couple of inches, about midway down the far side line. Side out back to Warrenton, back to a 2-point lead at 12-10. Serve from Emma Smith. Van Aken and Rains nearly come together. Walker sets up, or Evans sets up Walker for the kill. The block goes out of bounds, 12-11. Side out back to the Braves. This may be one of those back and forth, hard fought sets. With a 4-point lead. Janasek, Evans back sets to Van Aken. Lyons is there though. Back to Anat on the return. Janasek, Evans back sets to Walker. Popped up by Anat. Warrenton goes late too. I believe number 22, Paige Tingstrom. Anat far side. It's trailing 18-15. Serve from Madison. Not ready for the dig, and it goes out of bounds, 20-16. Braves with a 4-point lead. Van Aken popped over on off the serve by the Warriors. Evans sets up Saunders. Lyons dives, keeps it in play to Anat. Van Aken. Evans gets it back at far side near the bleachers. Warrenton with the return by Anat, far back corner. Bogroff to Evans, sets it appears late, but return long by Haley Evans. 20-17, side out back to Warrenton. Warrenton 7-4, Banks 4-3, coming off of 3 straight losses. Coming in for Warrenton, number 4, London O'Brien, and number 11, Kaylee Earl. O'Brien will serve down 3, 20-17. Braves a 3-point lead. Serve from O'Brien. Saunders, back set by Evans. Watson on the return for Warrenton. Van Aken. Evans sets up Saunders. And it goes off the top of the net, and either went off the top of the net or Alex Saunders was there for the return. Warrenton, either way, unable to get it back across the net. Braves up 4, 21-17, looking to take a 4-set victory over Warrenton. Serve from Katie Rains. Watson to O'Brien, returned by Kaylee Earl. Walker to Evans, sets up Saunders. And I think we're going to have an officials timeout. I think we may wind up replaying the point. The back line judges, which are going to give a point to the Braves. 22-17, timeout Warrenton. We'll take a 30-second break. Banks looking to take a 4
drinks and Yamhill Carlton. Open 7 days a week, Mondays through Saturdays until 5 and Sundays until 3. Make sure to ask about their weekly specials and visit their Facebook page. Scoggins Creek Coffee, 503-985.
Serving for the Braves, Katie Rains. Warrenton with 1 timeout left if they choose to use it. Serve from Katie Rains. Lions probably should have let that one go. Jumps and gets her fingertips on it, and it's going to go out of bounds. 23-17. 2 more points for a match of victory for the Braves. Again, the serve from Katie Rains. Lions cannot come up with the dig, and Warrenton's going to use their last timeout with a very important point coming up. Banks up 24-17, up 2-1 in the 4th set. Again, we'll take another 30-second break and be back after this from Specialty Screen Printing.
Specialty Screen Printing in Yamhill offers your business the creativity and expertise to print your logo on a variety of items. Owners Ken and Linda Johnson have 40 years of experience on industrial parts and every type of material, including ceramic tile. Their fast service can have your project done in less than a week. Visit their website, specialtyscreenprinting.com, to see for yourself how they can help you boost your company's marketing and industrial screen printing needs. Call 971-998-9274 or visit their website, specialtyscreenprinting.com.
And we're back, set point, match point for the Braves, and Banks gets the 4-set victory after Warrenton has their attempt on the return go out of bounds behind their bench. Banks with a 4-set victory. Banks with a 4-set victory, 24-16, 23-25, 25-19, 25-17. The Braves improve to 5-3. Warrenton drops to 7-5. Thanks for listening to tonight's broadcast. Our next broadcast will be Friday night at Pleasant Hill, pregame at 6:30. We hope to have you join us then. Hopefully we'll have better Wi-Fi for that match than we have had in this old brick building. Banks with a 4-set victory tonight and stays alive in the race for the 3A Coastal Range League volleyball title. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday evening. Good night and God bless.